I just wanted to start by saying thank you so much for such lovely comments last week. It definitely took a lot for Jason to come on. It's just not his personality. He's just like not that person that would have a YouTube channel. I thought it was important to bring him on and just to talk about our own relationship too. We've never really done it. I've never really done it anywhere actually on like any platform because I really talk about the things that I talk about in my coaching practice. Whatever video I've done in the past, everything that I talk about is not just educational. I talk about my own personal experiences and I talk about the struggles that I've had in all of this. I don't think there's honestly one topic I've ever covered where I haven't either gone through it, been through it, overcame it, I'm still working on it. So I'm always transparent with you guys on the things that I've been through and areas that I've struggled as well. Before we get started in this week's video, I did want to mention one thing because you guys have asked me for a while and I just keep forgetting to mention it in the video, so I'm so sorry. But do you guys know that when you actually open up your YouTube app, the feed that's there, it's kind of like the For You page of YouTube. So your feed is mostly about suggested videos in the very top. So in order to find Stephanie, what you do is you just go to the bottom, I'll put it over here so you can see, and you just click subscriptions. When you click on that, those are the people you're subscribed to. You will see all of my videos. Obviously, the more you watch them, the more they will be on your actual For You page, which is the first page that shows up when you go into the app. But if you are curious on where her videos, they are down there. So you can click that and you can binge watch. We have playlists, all the things. So let's get into this week's video. If you were in a relationship with someone who is emotionally abusive and narcissistic, you are going to go through this. The abuse that you have to go through even after you're out of that relationship, regardless of who ends the relationship, it's the stuff that you have to do after or go through after. For me, I have always said what happened during the relationship or even how the relationship ended, the discard, the affair, the cheating, the lying, betraying, all that kind of stuff. The stuff after, I actually thought was way more damaging. The abuse that you're gonna go through after this relationship is where this person just won't leave you alone. The calls don't stop, the texting doesn't stop, the messaging doesn't stop, showing up at your house doesn't stop. Like it's still very aggressive. The texting, the messaging, the not being able to leave you alone. It could be aggressive. It could be they love you, they want you back. It's just this relentless abusive behavior that just continues to happen and it never really has ever stopped. Whatever it is that you have gone through, and comment down below because I would love to get a conversation going on what specifically you have gone through. I honestly think I've gone through everything. Everything that we've talked about, I have experienced. You are not alone, whether you've gone through one thing or all of them. This is about control and this is also about punishment. They want to cause you harm. They want to be the victim. They want to keep you stuck. Post-separation abuse happens when the person just doesn't want to lose control over you, but the fact of the matter is they don't have control over you. And that's where the punishment comes into play. So we're gonna go over a plan to protect yourself based on what specific abusive tactic or abusive thing that this person is doing to you. Let's start with number one. They just won't leave you alone. This is a relationship where you do have to deal with this person. You're going to have to get involved with them in some way, whether it's over text, whether it's over email, maybe even over the phone, maybe even in person. Obviously, if the relationship is that bad, especially when we're co-parenting, then there might be restraining orders that need to happen, or maybe we don't verbally communicate, we only communicate through maybe an app, or maybe through text, or maybe through email. Something that's going to be extremely helpful for you if you have to communicate with this person, but you don't have to do it verbally. So maybe it is text, maybe it is email, maybe it is through an app, is being able to write something in a business-like manner. This is really hard to do because you are emotionally charged. As much as we want to stay calm and cool and collected and be able to see what's happening, it is absolutely mentally and emotionally, physically, all the things. It's exhausting on every level. And when you're living your day-to-day life and you have your day-to-day stressors, then adding this onto it, being able to draft a text or draft an email that is not emotionally charged is pretty much impossible. So what I will say, if you would like, I'm gonna give you a couple options. Option number one is draft whatever you wanna say and have a friend of yours or someone that you trust read it and rewrite it based on just facts, no emotion. If you don't have that person handy, use AI. Go into ChatGPT, open up AI and say, hey, this is what I wanna send, but it has to be emotionally not charged. It will redraft your email, redraft your text to just be to the point. This is what I have told every single client to do since then, and it has worked beautifully because there are just times where you're unable to draft something with absolutely no emotion. So instead of having to wait a week for the emotion to die and for you to somewhat be able to draft this normally, you can at least have this tool in your pocket to be able to just get to the point, answer the questions you need to answer, and then move on. Just remember that when you do this, this person is going to lose their mind because what they want is a reaction out of you. And when you don't give them the reaction and you just stick to the facts and you just keep reiterating the same thing over and over again, they don't like it. So you're gonna get even more nastier comments, you're gonna get threats, you're gonna get them trying to intimidate you, you're gonna get the manipulation, you're gonna get the guilt, you're gonna get everything under the sun. So just expect it and then do the same thing all over again. Eventually, they will wear themselves out and it will go away. And it leaves you to not feel so emotionally drained that you're drafting things and rewriting things and trying to figure out how to say this to get them to understand. You don't need them to understand. They're not going to. So don't even waste your time. If you have to co-parent, or maybe not even co-parenting, but maybe it is getting a little abusive, the interactions. And I'm not talking about verbal interactions, because if you are really struggling with this person, chances are you don't want to talk to them. So it is either going to be over email, text, all of those things. Record everything. If they really won't leave you alone and you have to get to the place where there are restraining orders, or maybe you can just block this person altogether, then those are the routes that you're gonna have to take. But you always want to save your evidence. Keep the screenshots, keep the emails, all of the stuff is just protection. It's exhausting in of itself that you even have to think this way and take those kind of next steps and measures, but it is what you have to do to just protect yourself. Number two, they try to make you feel guilty. The hard part with this is not engaging, is being able to see the tantrum, to see the tactic that they're using and not react to it, which I know is really hard to do, which is also why with step one, sometimes maybe verbal communication is not the route that you want to take. So it doesn't matter if they call you on the phone, you don't answer the call. If they're talking to you in person, well, guess what? Now you have to go because you forgot you had an appointment. You have to be able to get really good at removing yourself from situations where it's going into an area where you don't want it to go into, because all it's going to do is drain your energy. You also don't need to respond to them. You can actually ignore all the guilt trips. You don't even have to say, hey, look, now you're guilting me and that doesn't feel nice and I don't appreciate this. All you need to say is, I gotta go. You don't owe them any explanation. What they're doing is they're just trying to pull you back in to get drama from you. So everything that they say, even though you're frustrated, you don't understand, it's so hurtful, how could you do this? I can't believe this. You will never ever be able to fully, well, let me correct that. You may never be able to fully accept who this person is because you don't operate in the same way. So when that is something that you may struggle with, where you just can't understand why a person would say this, why a person would behave this way or do these things, what I need you to understand is this is the pull that they want to get from you to get you back into the drama, to get you emotionally drained, mentally drained, all of the things. This is about you learning how to protect yourself when you are around this person, if you have to deal with them in some way. The lies, the twisting of the truth, the messing with your head essentially is the gaslighting. And the important thing with gaslighting, and this is where this person, even though they're hurting you in some way, this is a huge teaching moment for you because you are trying to overcome codependency. You're trying to learn how to really trust your own intuition. You're trying to hold on to your sense of self. So them triggering you in this way where you start to have this self-doubt, where maybe the lies that they're spreading or the rumors that they're telling people or them being the victim or all of those things, and it's triggering you in this way, this is your opportunity to be able to say, you know what, I know the truth. I don't need anyone else to agree with me, and being able to trust your gut and your intuition on how you approach this or just what you innately feel. This is about keeping things to the facts and not getting anything twisted. Obviously, the less interactions that you have with this person, the less you just keep it to whatever it is that you actually need to talk about and everything else can just kind of go away, the less likely they can actually manipulate you, the less likely they'll be able to even gaslight you. But as long as you know your truth and you know you're a good person, you know you're being fair, you know you're doing everything right, then let them have a tantrum, because essentially that's what this is. They're using those old ways to try to hook you the way they did years and years ago when you were in a relationship with this person, and it's just not working anymore. And they know this, and this is where they'll start to get frustrated and throw backlash and get even more irritated with you and say hurtful things and do all the things that they do that used to really get under your skin, but now they don't so much, because now you understand what's happening and you're behaving differently because of it. You're taking care of yourself, you're holding on to yourself, you're seeing the tantrum that's happening, and so you're no longer being reactive to the tantrum. You're learning how to set a plan of how to take care of yourself when the tantrum, the the outburst, whatever, actually happens. That's what this is all about. This is what it was for me. It was about me learning that when someone doesn't get their way, this is how they're going to approach me. These are the things that they're going to do. These are the things that they're going to say. Really looking at each experience as not a trigger, but as an opportunity for me to hold on to myself, being able to detach emotionally from the situation to see what was really happening so I could respond differently. That's when you have power, and that's when you have confidence. And that's when things start to change, because you don't feel like you need a 2 or 3 day recovery from the interaction that you just had with this person. If you are in a situation where this person is making it more difficult for you to be in a relationship with your new person, they're just like causing unnecessary friction. I will say, and this isn't a dump on your new partner, but your new partner has to very much understand the creature that you're dealing with. And I understand that a lot of people can't fully understand the creature that they're dealing with when they haven't dealt with them themselves, and that will be very hard for you to deal with. I have coached a lot of people that have been in relationships with very nice people, but they don't fully understand narcissism. They don't really understand the type of abuse that you, your kids, your family, whoever has been through, and it makes it really hard to be able to have that level of understanding when you're in a relationship with that type of a person. So you have to be in a relationship with someone that, even if they have never fully experienced this, but they can at least empathize with what it is that you're going through. Hugely important, which, by the way, just a side note, it's hugely important to have a partner that empathizes, period. So if they don't empathize with you on what is that you've been through, and they can't see the abuse, is a little bit of a red flag. I'm just saying. Because even though this person is trying to throw a wrench into your life, if you have a strong relationship, healthy relationship with your new partner, any kind of flick in the road that may happen is not going to throw your relationship off, because the foundation with both of you is so incredibly strong that this, while it's a pain, is just short term. Using the kids against you legally, trying to change agreements, not honoring the agreement, dealing with that type of abuse is very difficult. First off, everything is in writing. In conversation, when you're being your normal self, because as much as we try to be so self-aware when we're dealing with these people, you're going to have moments where you are going to resort back to yourself. You're going to default to who you are. When you feel like this person's starting to be normal, you're going to start to be a little normal. It's like you're only ever going to be on when you feel like this relationship is very toxic and abusive. Years, months, days, whatever with this person, and it has been off the chain abusive, then you are on guard when you are around this person. But if the dust has settled a little bit and you're like, oh look, we're starting to play nice in the sandbox, you're going to let your walls down. Most likely, if you have to deal with this person for many, 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 many years, you're going to put your walls down, because you don't operate in the way that they do. You play fair, you're nice, you communicate, you are caring and empathetic. So it's hard for you to just be selfish, self-righteous, self-absorbed, not caring about anyone else but myself, wanting to hurt the other person. Like, you have moved on from all of that. You have done the work. You don't care anymore. Whereas this person, not so much. So when that happens and you're just having verbal conversations with this person, unfortunately, you're opening yourself up to either be taken advantage of down the road, or for them to use what it is that you're saying against you. There is an aspect of recovery that you have to do when you're dealing with post-separation abuse. I don't care what it is that they're doing to you, whether it's stalking, whether it's, verbal abuse, whether it's emotional abuse. There is an aspect of, oh my God, that was so incredibly exhausting, and I need to decompress and take care of myself. So as much as this person hurts you at times, they are also hopefully giving or showcasing how you should be taking care of yourself when you are either dealing with this person, or not being reactive to this person, or having a stronger sense of self when you're interacting with this person, or trusting your own intuition and not believing everything that they said, or letting the manipulation actually work. This person is teaching you something. We learn through pain. I know you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear that this person's a teacher, but this person is. They are teaching you through pain. Post-separation abuse is all about control. So you have to be able to set firm boundaries, and you have to be able to learn how to take care of yourself. This is not something that is black and white. It is very gray, and you absolutely need support. If you are interested in working with me, I link my private coaching, my individual sessions. I know everyone right now is really concerned I know finances are tight for many people. We have a community membership that is very extremely affordable every single month, where you can get in there, get the support that you need, talk to me, ask me questions. That's an option. We're going to be doing group coaching soon, so that's an option as well. There are plenty of resources for you to get not only the validation, but the encouragement, the reminders, the education, everything that you need to be able to go toe to toe with this person. And I don't mean toe to toe where you fight back, toe to toe where you actually come out on the other side as the winner, in the aspect of you're not reactive, you're calm, you're confident, you're healthy, and this is not ruining your day, your week, your year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click on notifications. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.